The atmosphere inside the courtroom was heavy with the scent of old wood and the silent weight of unresolved history. Judge Judy Justice sat behind her elevated bench, a figure of absolute authority and sharp intellect, observing the two individuals who stood before her. This was case number 3056, involving Blondie Aberon and Sherilla Williams. They had once shared a life, a home, and a future, but now they were separated by a wooden podium and a vast chasm of resentment. The legal battle was not just about money or property. It was a final chapter of a story that had begun with hope in the year 2021 and had unraveled by the autumn of 2022. Blondie Aberon sat in his wheelchair, a physical reminder of a life-altering incident that had occurred in June of 2022. He looked at Sherilla, the woman he had loved, and saw a stranger. He was suing her for stolen property and money taken from his bank account. Sherilla, standing tall and composed, countersued for property damage. The judge began the proceedings with a stern call to order, and the room fell into a respectful silence. The story of their relationship was a complex tapestry of caretaking, conflict, and the harsh realities of life. The history of their union traced back to 2021. They had moved into an apartment together in June of 2022, signing a lease that bound them both to a shared responsibility of $750 a month in rent. However, that same month, tragedy struck. Blondie was shot during a chaotic altercation involving his mother, his children, and a boyfriend. The circumstances were murky, involving a gun that happened to go off during a confrontation. This event left Blondie paralyzed and hospitalized for several months, specifically 3 to 4 months of grueling recovery. During this time, the dynamics of their relationship shifted. Sherilla, who had been working as a medical office receptionist, stopped her employment in July to become Blondie's primary caregiver. It was a period of immense sacrifice. She stayed by his side through the long nights in the hospital, managing their household with no income of her own. Blondie had started a GoFundMe page during his stay, which successfully collected $2,800. This money was intended for his medical needs and personal care. Yet as the months passed, the financial strain began to erode the foundation of their partnership. By October 2022, the pressure reached a breaking point. Blondie was no longer the man he used to be, and the physical and emotional toll on Sherilla was mounting. An altercation occurred on October 28th, an event that led to the police being called to their shared residence. It was discovered that Blondie had an outstanding warrant related to a previous incident with the mother of his child, Ms. Moore. Consequently, Blondie was arrested and incarcerated from October until April of 2023. While Blondie was behind bars, the world outside continued to move. Sherilla found herself alone in an apartment they both leased, with bills that did not care about their personal tragedies. She admitted to withdrawing roughly $3,000 from Blondie's account, money that had come from his disability payments. To her, this was a matter of survival. She used the funds to pay the rent, buy food, cover utilities, and maintain her car note. She believed that since she had sacrificed her career to care for him, he had agreed to support her once his benefits arrived. However, from Blondie's perspective, this was nothing short of theft. When he was released from jail on April 14th, he found himself homeless and possessionless. He claimed that Sherilla had taken everything he owned, his clothes, his shoes, and all his personal belongings. He spent his first night of freedom sleeping in a car, eventually finding temporary shelter in a hotel with the help of Ms. Moore. The betrayal he felt was profound. He accused Sherilla of using his money for unnecessary items, while he was unable to defend his interests. The courtroom became a stage for these conflicting narratives. Judge Judy Justice, with her decades of experience, questioned them both with surgical precision. She probed into the details of the GoFundMe money and the lack of outstanding medical bills. Since Blondie had Medicaid, she scrutinized the bank statements from January, February, and March of 2023, the months when Blondie was incarcerated and Sherilla was managing the finances. Sherilla defended her actions with a quiet intensity. She spoke of the mental, verbal, and physical abuse she had endured. She recounted the day she decided she was done and over with the drama. On October 28th, she claimed she came home to find Blondie destroying their home, tearing up a wardrobe and damaging television sets. She presented a police report, though the document only officially recorded damage to an iPhone, which was broken on both the front and back. Blondie denied the allegations of violence, claiming he was the one who was attacked from behind while standing at the refrigerator. He insisted he had no idea what Sharilla was talking about regarding the destroyed property. But the judge was not easily swayed by denials. She looked at these two individuals, who were once a team, now reduced to bickering over tubs of clothes and disputed bank withdrawals. In a moment of profound clarity, Judge Judy Justice delivered her verdict. She dismissed both the claim and the counterclaim. She saw no legal merit in Blondie's demand for the money spent on shared living expenses while he was incarcerated, nor did she find sufficient evidence to award Sharilla damages for the alleged destruction of property beyond the already documented iPhone. Her final words were not just a legal conclusion, but a piece of hard-earned wisdom. She suggested that they stay far away from each other. She spoke to the importance of self-respect and the necessity of recognizing when a situation has become toxic. She addressed the women in Blondie's life, Ms. Moore and Sharilla, noting their intelligence and articulation, yet questioning why they would choose to live in fear of a man with violent propensities. As the court adjourned, the two parties walked away in different directions. Sharilla felt a sense of relief, a finality that allowed her to breathe again. She had decided that her children had endured enough, and that it was time for a change. She sought a protection order, determined to move forward into a life of peace and stability. Blondie, though disappointed, expressed a hollow forgiveness, suggesting that perhaps Sharilla needed the money more than he did. The story ended not with grand triumph, but with a quiet resolution. It was a reminder that sometimes the most important victory in a courtroom is the simple act of walking away and choosing to start over. The mahogany doors of the court closed, leaving the echoes of their past behind, as they both stepped out into the light of a new day, wiser and more determined to find a path toward a better, more peaceful future. This was the justice of moving on, the clarity that comes after the storm, and the enduring value of human dignity.